Showroom. Alright, cool. I know I'm not doing anything. Alright. Test. Oh, wow. Test. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Alrighty. So, let me just... You may hear a little buzzing. Alright, so, welcome to Bazt3rd review of Forza Motorsport 6. Sorry, I'm preoccupied. So, hold on, let me just get out my list, and yes. Alright, people. So, welcome to Forza's Nation's review of FM6, at least Bazt3rd's review of FM6. So, here we go. Let's get down to it. Well, I race around. Well, this is a replay of me racing around Silverstone in an Indy car on Silverstone wet. You can also take notice on how well I do this track. I might go to it from time. I might tell you about it from time to time if it comes into relevance, and you know, as I go through my bullet points of stuff. So let's get cracking. Hold on. Alright, so, my bad, alright, so, let's get cracking. So, first thing I wanted to talk about in my review is the cars. Now, the car list is over 450 cars long. Though I did notice that there are a few cars here and there missing from Forza 5, like most notably the Indy Lights car, the F2000 car. Trying to think what else they're missing. I mean, they could have kept the E21. Personally, I think that's what they should do, but you know. What? Oh, who knows? So, but apparently that what is it? That I guess sponsorship that they have with Lotus Formula 1 team. Don't exactly know who owns the Team Lotus the Team Lotus cred and all, but you know, whoever owns Team Lotus is able to. The reason why probably they have all those Lotus F1 cars, old F1 cars, was because of that Lotus connection they have with the F1 team and all. But I don't know if the F1 team owns it. Anyway, I'm pandering too much right there, just on that. So the car list is very well made. And we got some real good classic Can-Ams. We got some real good classic GTs. Let's see. The same prototypes that we got in previous games. But they are fairly good. Hey, look at them. They're being idiots. We got a vast amount of Indy cars now. Vast amount of pretty much the full list of Australian V8s. We got one extra 1970s F1 car, the Lotus 77, which pretty much was the best F1 car of that time because of that DFV engine. And pretty much reigned supreme. And they got, what, they got 2 more, is it 2 or, I think it's 2 more old F1 cars, 1960s cars. Got the McLaren and the Eagle, which is pretty good. So, I mean, all in all, I think the whole edition of cars they got. I mean, from the touring cars to just the production-based cars, it's a real good list. But you know, it still seems lacking. Anyway, I'm just sauntering here through the list. So, now I want to talk about tracks. The track list is vast compared to what Forza 5 has. And I like it. I like the track list they have. There's a lot of them that is really good, and now they fully updated Indianapolis. They updated Road America. Trying to think what else they updated. I need some hints here. I completely forget what else they updated, but you know. And they brought in most of the, pretty much all the tracks from Forza 5, and added a lot of good ones in Daytona. Brands Hatch, which I'm not too good on. I'm particularly, that track is not one of my favorites. Kota, which I am really good on. It's now my second favorite in this game. First is Spot, then it's Kota, because that long back straight is a really good run up to a hairpin. I mean, it's a real challenge. And when you got the right setup, it makes for a good race. So, I'm really glad that they put so many good tracks in there. But, you know, the track is also listed. What are the words? Come to me. The track list is still lacking. That's the word I'm lacking. You know, I mean, they could have had some Asian tracks. Maybe Beijing. There's Singapore. They could have added the Malaysian Grand Prix, whichever track that is. I forget what it's called. Anyway, could have had the Singapore Grand Prix track. They could have had Suzuka, which, you know, those 2 tracks, I'm pretty sure that those 2 tracks could also be in rain. But, you know, maybe Turn 10 has a plan to bring those tracks to Forza 6 in the near future, like they did in Forza 5. I wouldn't be surprised by it. So, I mean, Suzuka. 2014 was a very depressing time in Suzuka, but, you know, still, it would be really cool to have Suzuka again. I mean, that track is famous for wet races, and very tragic race in the event of Jules Bianchi's, God rest his soul. But, you know, it could be a real clash with with the amount of cars that you have. I mean, you could have a full roster of full lobby of 24 cars. I mean, it'd basically be 2014 all over again, minus the deaths. So, yeah. Sorry, I've answered way too much about Suzuka. Suzuka is really fun, and I loved it, and it was my favorite track, and, you know, I wish it was here. Really do. So, one thing I don't want is to see Tsukuba. I hate that track so fucking much! But since it's a drifter's paradise, you know, I'll let it slide because all of you people, some of you people, are drifters, and if they could put it in and have wet, you'd all have a wonderful time drifting around in the wet with three-wheel drive cars, and then hopefully spinning and crashing half the time. Anyway, so that's enough about track. Let's go on with the weather and the night. So, as you can see, I am driving in the wet on Silverstone. And as you can see, the track is full wet and it makes for a very tough drive. As you saw a minute ago, sorry. You saw that line that I took was a very imprecise move. I mean, it's really hard, but you know, that's the challenge of wet weather. It makes you think. It makes you think which puddles you can go through and which puddles you can't, and all that good technical thinking. Basically goes full James May. You go full James May, power on, power off, feeling the wheel, or feeling the car through the turns. Yeah? It's it's very technical. It's less technical in the nighttime, though. I mean, yes, you have slightly less grip, but you know, it's still not that different physically, but graphically, the lighting is pretty good. I mean, I tried. If you saw my day one stream, about maybe an hour or two into it, I decided to buy an Audi Union Type 39 and take it around Nürburgring full, the whole GP and the whatchamacallit, at night, and yeah, it was terrifying. I pretty much quit. Not even a third through, probably a quarter through, and I was like, I'm just bumping into everything! Ah! And I just gave up. I was just like, nope, not doing this. So, so, you know, it can be a challenge if you don't have headlights. I mean, you're gonna have to play with the lines on so you know where the hell the track is. I mean, seriously. So, alright, so, with the weather and the tracks and the cars being covered, we're gonna move on to a brand new thing that Forza Motorsports is new to. The mods, which in hindsight everyone has a bit of an opinion with these. I mean, are they good? They could be good, they could be not. My bad. That wasn't supposed to happen. But yeah, it's I think mods are okay. I mean, I think they could work out the dare mods a bit better. I mean, the dare mods would be really cool if, say, you could make 50% credits, but you can only make 50% credits. I mean, just lock the credit percentage at 50 for dares, so you can have multiple dares and gain 50%. That's a bit of a cheat, but you know, this whole game is kind of rigged with the credits, allowing you to gain credits pretty easily. So, you know, it would just add to that problem, I guess. But, you know what? More credits, more mods, more everything. Also, if you checked my, my quality test, yesterday, I had a bit of a meltdown there. It was terrible, I'll tell you that. I accidentally got rid of 2 of my engineers. One of them that I did get back. The other one I didn't because it was I believe it was a plus 12 to brake to grip and plus 12 plus 6 to weight. So I am now missing that one mod, and now I'm just desperately going through my money and spending them on mod packs to get my grip engineer with plus 5 mod, or plus 5 to weight, or minus 6 to weight back. But you know, that's it feels like you're playing one of those Japanese games. I mean, these Japanese mobile games with the cards and collecting and being, because I know there's one game out there. You don't have to look it up, because I'm not going to tell you. So, but there's one game by Namco, and they made it so that you have to spend so much money. I mean, somebody dropped like $1 million just to get this one card pack or something. Get this one card and card pack, and this whole big, huge, ginormous thing, and it was just crazy. And I was like, what? I mean, the same thing happens to this. You're just spending money just to get the one mod that you want, and that you misplaced by accident. I mean, they did give you the option to turn off that thing. My suggestion, no, do not do that. Just don't. It's a mistake. So leave that whole warning system on so that you don't accidentally hit X and sell your best mods. So that's my one. That's my first recommendation for this, to play this game. So with that done, let's move on to the UI, the user interface. So the user interface has been vastly improved upon in Forza Motorsport 6 from 5. I like it. I think it's decent to navigate. I mean, the menus aren't as clean cut, but you know, I mean, could be better, I guess. But you know, as is, I don't think it's that bad. The only problem with the user interface I have is with the car systems and the pictures not showing up. And when you go into the My Cars and you try to look through your cars, the pictures aren't there, or it's blown up and cut out. Like my my Fiesta XR2, which has a paint job, somehow it got zoomed in and it's cut off to the side so that only half the car, the back half of the car, is shown. And it's really annoying not being able to see my car fully with its paint job and all in little tiny form. But you know, they need to work on that. They need to put out a title update right there just for that. So take heed, Turn 10, if you're ever listening, which you probably aren't, but you know, still, someone out there. So I think that covers UI. The leveling system. Now, the leveling system is quicker. Help, thanks, with help from the mods, because you know, the mods, like there's XP mods and XP mods and XP mods. So I've been XPing mods, and I'm like at 56 or something. I forget what. I'm somewhere in the 50s. I know that. So I'm somewhere in the level 50 area, and I think it's a bit too quick. But you know, that's okay. I mean, I thought Forza Horizon 2 was quick. probably just as quick as Forza Horizon 2 leveling up, you know? So, that isn't, in my mind, I don't think that's so bad. I mean, compared to Forza 4, which took like a millennia to level up, at least for me, because I don't play all day. I don't play like 72 hours straight, or played so many hours straight in the beginning. Kind of took a break here and there, and then I am going to go back into it. And then I bought this. I don't play those anymore, but I might go back to Forza Motorsports 4 if it gets put out to the backwards compatibility system and all that. So, you know. But yeah. So, and talking about the level system, we have the new wheel spin system. Hold on. Sorry about that. I had to bang my headset so that the speakers start working again. I mean, my thing is very... Anyway, let's gloss over that. So the wheel spin system, I like it. It's a good addition. I mean, it's a surprise way of getting rewards. I think it's a great addition. It's very easy to work out sometimes. If you see it go slow enough, I mean, so there's a trick that I've learned, is that if you hit one of the 4 corners, about 75% of the time, you're going to hit that middle one. It's just a little trick that I've picked up, in like pretty much the demo, but you know, I was like, hit, got the middle. Yes! I mean, I make it look easy getting the middle. So, I mean, you can check my earlier broadcasts if they're still around. That will show you how easy it is. So, but I think the price system's good. I mean, I got a lot of cash and cars doing that. And it's pretty good. I mean, not that bad. Not bad, this. Back to the studio. Alright, so we talked about the wheel spin levels, the UI. Alright, so let's get down to brass taxes. The physics of the game. I really don't know about the physics. I really haven't paid attention to the physics as much. I mean, everything feels grippy and it feels solid. I mean, personally, I've driven one car my whole entire life, and it's my mom's van. So, you know, I can't say how it feels. But, you know, I think they got it spot on. Personally, I don't really care that much about physics. Most of you probably do if you're playing this game, so you know. But it does give that raw feeling of racing, you know. Just puts you there. The accuracies of pretty much everything in the game. It has to do mostly of what you ever saw in real life, and trust me, I've never been to any of these tracks in real life. I've seen pictures, I've seen maps, I've seen the shit on TV, and you know what? They do a really good job of it, in terms of accuracy with the tracks. Apparently some people are saying stuff about the accuracy of the cars and all that. There's one accuracy that I'm having a bit of an issue with, is with the E23. how the DRS flap opens at 140 or 150. I really can't tell because I'm going really fast, so it just opens and closes. And you know what? I really can't think that they didn't think this through. I mean, couldn't they somehow made it so that the DRS flap opens on the straights? I mean, really? Is it too much brain power for them to think of a way to fix that? But I mean, yeah, just to fiddle with one car. I mean, yes, all for fiddling with one car actually will vastly improve that one car, because I played with the 23 on the Nürburgring, the Nordschleife, and that thing's a fucking nightmare. It boggles my mind. I didn't like it. So, I mean, hopefully by the next game they'll figure it out and they'll give that a go. Then again, Turn 10 won't be listening to this Twitch stream, so, you know, I don't know, maybe I'll send this to them, who knows. So, that's physics and accuracy out of the way. So let's get down to career mode. Now, career mode seems pretty good. I mean, it's a very clean-cut way to deal with career. The career mode in Forza Motorsport 5 was a terrible nightmare. I didn't like it. Practically no one liked it. So, you know, pretty much gloss to just replay over and over again, but, you know. Anyway, enough about that. So career mode, it does seem a bit linear. Forza Motorsports 4, compared to Forza Motorsports 4's career, which is just as linear, but basically what Forza Motorsport 6 did was take the linear side of Forza Motorsports 4, took the ability to choose your class of cars from Forza 5 and Forza Horizon 2, and put it in one big melting pot. I think it's a vast improvement from Forza 4's sake. I really wish they would do what they did in Forza Motorsport 4. In reality, I wish they just continued with the Forza 4's formula of everything that they have in there. Then again, they couldn't. They had to make a brand new game. It had to be the launch title, and the shit thing that we have as Forza Motorsport 5 exists as a template for this. And a better template. And this is the better template. If they can make Forza 4, if they can make Forza 7 in the way that they made Forza 4, with the amount of cars, tracks, and conditions, and careers, and everything like that, it would be so much better. So, drivatars. Yes, let's talk about drivatars now. As you see, I'm playing this race, or I was playing this race, and as you can see, the drivatars were a bit stupid on the last turn, because no one knows, everyone doesn't know how to go through that puddle, or either. Basically, you shouldn't go through that puddle, because that's all you're gonna do. You're gonna go wee and understeer into the wall. So that's just a bad choice of these driver cars. But anyway, I'm playing with the driver car at expert and with the limited aggression on. Now with the limited aggression off, they're easier to get by because, you know, they're bashing you, you're bashing them, and so on and so forth, and they become barriers for you to crash into and cruise into first. That's basically my view. So yeah, but with this limiter on, they become more technical, more frustrating, more unforgiving. In the dry, at least. In the wet, they're completely useless because they're just like, oh, it's wet. They're not as bad at nighttime, but they're really bad at wet. So still, people don't. Their driver cars still doesn't know how to drive in the wet half the time. But I think they use kind of a hybrid system in the showdowns, because you don't see driver cars there. You don't see driver car names there. You know, they probably have the system of. They probably still have the system of. Still have the same driver car system in there, but you know, it's good to see those names back and forth again. I mean, M. Rossi, the evil M. Rossi. Ours had, who's the other guy? I don't know. Is it Mueller? It's Mueller, Rossi, and I think it's mostly just Rossi being an asshole. But Rossi was the nightmare in all the games. He was just a prick. Just grade A prick. Anyway, or at least they made him a grade A prick in driving, so. But, yeah, driver cars have vastly improved. Sometimes in the wet there are dumb fucking shits, mostly because I'm playing on expert, so they still don't know how to take corners. Some of them don't know how to take corners. Most of them don't know how to take corners, as you can see. As you'll eventually see that most of the driver cars just crash into that one barrier at the end. So, multiplayer. Alright, so I tried a bit of the league system, and I am in professional. Oh, that stings like hell. Anyway, so I'm in the professional league. That means I'm in the middle of it, and oh no, I think the league is really awesome. It gives you an extra payout every time you race and an event closes. I mean, I got a good $250,000 for doing it. So that's a good way of making money. And an incentive to do multiplayer. Yeah, I thought the introductions was pretty good. Got the race with everyone. Feel for the tracks, feel for the multiplayer, and it was a good, overall good run, and I think they're really onto something with the leagues. You'll be racing with people just like you, but I think I don't know how well they put it together. I mean, once I go back online, I'll tell you how it goes, but you know, for now, I'm not really going to mess with multiplayer for a really long time, at least until I get done career, because I just want to get done career, and then my cars are freed up to do whatever the hell I want to do with them. So that's multiplayer. Free play. Everyone has some sort of gripe with free play nowadays. So I've been looking on the forums. Apparently free play isn't too customizable. I think free play is just as customizable, if not more customizable, in in Forza Motorsports 5, we got two-player multiplayer again, and the screen just went black yet again. But we have multiplayer. We have two-player local play again, and that I think is a really good thing. And now you can do hot laps again, or at least limited number of hot laps. I mean, you could drag that lap thing all the way up to like 50, I guess. I really don't know how far it is. I'm not looking. I never tested it, but you know, it's good to see hot lapping in free play. I mean, they combined hot lapping and free play all into one could go. So, you know, because, you know, test drive, you can only play with the car that you have in your garage. So, you know. So I think for free play is looking pretty good. I don't have a gripe about it. So what I do have a gripe about is the tuning. Alright, so what I don't like about the tuning, well, I do kind of do some tuning here and there. I mean, I tuned this thing so that has more downforce, or at least has half and half instead of the stock speed downforce, or less downforce, more speed. But the way they had the stock diff turned on is really annoying. I mean, it's more. It has 70. It has 70 for acceleration and like 15 or 16 or 17 deceleration. And I'm like, who the hell freaking got this in their head? They can mess with the formula. It doesn't make sense to me, because the formula in previous games was just fine. I mean, keep it at 75. I mean, my GT cars was performing better in with the diffs automatically set at 75. I don't want to go and have to do that. It's so annoying. They have to patch that. I seriously think that's the second thing they have to patch immediately. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. But, you know, tuning's good. I've got some good tunes floating about in my own cars. I never put them out online because, you know, they're not good enough. So, I mean, they're probably good for the beginner, I guess. I figured out a way to fix some cars. I mean, 75 for most GT cars. Higher acceleration, probably 75. Put 75 for everything. Or if you see the Excel at that number, at the high number, put the decel at that high number too. Just so that you don't spin out when you're trying to turn in, because it's ridiculous how slow the thing locks and you're just like, spin. Also, put your brakes to 200%. That's a good, I guess this is another second tip. But set your brakes to 200%. That's also a good thing, because you'll have full range of your brakes that way. And you'll be able to maybe take a couple milliseconds off of your braking time. You'll be able to brake quickly, accelerate to that corner faster. So yeah, that's a good thing. I think that's all I have for tuning. So, alrighty. Forza Vista. The Forza Vista system is pretty much the same in Forza 5, but more accessible. I mean, you don't have to go into a crazy menu, you just have to go to the main menus and press X. That's fairly more easier to get in Forza Vista. It's basically integrated into the menu. That's really good. It's just one simple step, X, right at the menu, and you can just look around the car and everything. What's a real shame, though, is that some cars you're not able to access the engine bay. I mean, some cars you're probably not allowed to access the engine bay because, you know, it may be a Formula 1 car, or it's vastly expensive. Why bother? You don't want to need a look or whatever, so that's another thing. Some of the dialogue for that woman who does the Forza Vista thingy, that is, most of their dialogue is recycled. That's a real shame. But, oh no, I think Forza Vista looks pretty good. It looks pretty much the same. But yeah, the paint system. Now, I'm not gonna really talk about the paint systems per se because I'm not a painter. I don't dabble in the paint. I may have dabbled in paint back and forth before, but I'm not an artist, so I don't really care. But the designs, though, some of the designs for the cars, I mean, I got a design for the E23, which is basically the FW37 design of Martini Williams racing car. And I put it on there. It looks good out of the car. Once you get into the cockpit view, it looks blurry as hell. And, you know, I don't like it. It looks ugly. But, you know, I don't know if it's resolution or if it's something else. But yeah, it is what it is. Maybe, hopefully they can up the resolution and all that. That'd be good. So, paint systems then. The audio. Take a couple seconds. You just listen to the car. And that's a bang up audio. What do you say? Full chat. Now that is an in-car full chat. So, I think the sound systems, at least, you're probably hearing a really bad sound system, but, you know, it's probably loud because my mic is louder than the actual gameplay, which I kind of ran into back and forth to Horizon 2, but, you know, gloss over that. So, I think that the sounds is just as good, I guess, a lot better. I like the soundtrack that they added for some of the things. I mean, back in the demo, you got a pretty good vibe of the music that they're rolling through. And, you know, through the game, through the actual races, they actually are grittier. So, soundtrack is banging, let me tell you. Something that can get you in the groove of racing around a track on third around a turn going down into Beckett's and Abbey or something. I don't know. I forget the names of these turns. Anyway, so I think the audio is bang up to date. I mean, the F1 car isn't as loud as is the other F1 car in Forza 5. Because, you know, that's a wailing V8. The other one's just a droning hybrid going just like me. They're just all these various stupid noises. Not loud at all. Not like the old V8s and V12s that they have in yesteryear's Formula cars. Yeah, it's real cool. So, alright, the last thing I wanted to hit on is the way that you can change your driver gender. It's about time, Forza. It's about fucking time. Turn 10. I mean, seriously. Like, how long did it take you to think of that? I mean, probably more than half the demographic of racing is more on men than women, but you know, it's good that you have that choice if you are a woman and you get to choose that. And you can now choose that. Now the next step of that is letting us customize our fucking character's uniform. That would be cool. And give us free range. Like, you could design your own outfit. That would be cool. That would definitely be cool. But, yeah. It's about time they got to genders. So that is my review of Forza Motorsport 6. So, let's get down for predictions. Since they have, well, it's relevant that they've begun their sub licensing from EA, or just Porsche generally giving out their titles, their license to anyone, but I wish they would. Do it, Porsche. Do it! Do it! Do it! Don't give EA the power anymore! Just free range it! Free Porsches for everyone! Anyway, enough about that. Yeah, on Le Mans they have that Porsche banner. That's a neat little, spoiler, I guess. I don't know. It's a neat little gimmick of their sub-license for Porsche. I mean, that could have meant that they could have already had Porsche in the final version of Forza Motorsport 6. No! Yeah, they're just gonna do what they did back in Forza Horizon and or at least in Forza Motorsport 4 and Forza Horizon 2. Give Porsche to us, you know? Just gonna be like, here, just buy it. And we'll be stupid and we'll buy it, and you know, what are you gonna do? It'd just be cool if Porsche just lend out their license to everybody. I mean, they're more precision cars than for the arcade, but you know, EA's just greedy motherfuckers, and Porsche's like, do what with you will, EA. We don't give a damn about our customer base. We are just making SUVs. We are complete and utter marketing morons. So, that's my view on Porsches. Track predictions. Add more, if they could, add Suzuka. That's a famous track for being wet. Fuji, that's another track for being famous for being wet. More Asian tracks would be good. I would love to see Rally di Pisano in that full Rally di Pisano route. That'd be beautiful to look at. because they could put it in the rain. That would be awesome! You know, I don't think they're ever going to wet or nighttime. I mean, they can nighttime those tracks. Their tracks. They can't wet their tracks. At least because they accurately make puddles. So, you know, how do you accurately make puddles in a track that you made? See? There's a little glitch there that you have to think about. So, you know. That's why they're not going to do that. But, also, let me point that out real quick. If you can see, basically, hold on. There's a little glitch in the system. There! That little white spot where the sun is supposed to be. You can't really see it. Just look at the white, and there's a little white spot on the track. That follows you around. That's where the sun is. So they haven't completely fixed the rain effects. That's a little glitch that I noticed there. So, and of course you can't look at the sky completely and try to find the sun. So, you know, that's impossible. But, anyway. Cars, of course, they're going to have a Ford Taurus SHO. And that's pretty much the only car that I think, other than Porsches, they're going to bring out. So, hope you enjoyed listening. Check out my other shit in my past broadcasts, my day one, and my sound quality test, and possibly, if you feel like being bored to death, my review of the Challenger Hellcat. Also, please like or visit our Facebook page, Forza Nation. Go to our YouTube channel, like, subscribe videos. I said go to our Facebook page, Forza Nation, and give us a like if you like. We'll post most of our news there and other stuff pertaining to Forza Motorsports and the series. Just a little quote unquote. We are not affiliated with Microsoft, Turn 10, Playground Games, or any of its affiliates. So please do not complain to us. That really ticks me off because, you know, you can complain to us. You can be like, how do you do this? We'll just be like, yeah. Tough luck, dude. Go to the forums. So, salutations. I'm signing off. This has been Forza Nation's Bastard. Catch you on the track. Sometime.